Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I want to say thank you for giving me a chance to stand here to present my seminar proposal. First of all, I want to say thank you for God because His blessing and His mercy, we can still gather here in health condition. And the Honorable for Sir Hasra Susanolo Zebua, SPD MPD, as advisor in my proposing my seminar proposal. And secondly, the Honorable Sir Dr. Yare Diwaru, SSMS, as the reviewer for my seminar proposal. Before showing the slides, I would like to introduce myself. I am Idelia Dara Zebua. My register number is 1921080039. I am from English Education Study Program, Faculty of Teacher Training and Education, Universitas Nias. And the title of my seminar proposal is The Descriptive Analysis on the Role of English Teacher as Facilitators for 10 OTKP First at SMK Negeri 3 Gunung Sitoli in 2022-2023. There are 3 chapters that I will explain. Chapter 1, it is about the introduction. Chapter 2, it is about the literature review. And chapter 3, it is about the research method. So we go in the chapter 1. In the National Education System Law number 20 of 2003, education is formulated as a conscious and planned effort to create a learning atmosphere and learning process, so that students actively develop their potential to have religious, spiritual strength, self-control, personality, intelligence, and noble characters, as well as the skill needed by himself, society, nation, and state. The teacher has a very important role in the success of the learning process. It can be seen from the achievement of learning objectives. It's like the students can understand the material presented by the teacher. Unfortunately, based on the result of the researcher interview with English teacher at SMK Negeri 3 Gunung Sitoli, the observations show that the factor that hinder the teacher as a facilitators are caused by several things. The first is factor from the schools, and the second is factor of the teacher. Based on the fact displayed, the researcher is inspired to conduct descriptive qualitative research to identify and analyze the role of English teacher as a facilitators in learning. According to Mulung 2017.6, state that qualitative research is research that is intended for understand the phenomena of what is experienced by research subject such as behavior, perception, motivation, and action, and other holistically and by means of description in the form of word and language in a special natural content by utilizing various methods experience. Regarding to the explanation, it can be obtained an overview of the role of teacher and facilitators in learning English 10th grade by using descriptive qualitative research by proposing the title, The Descriptive Analysis on the Role of English Teacher as Facilitators for 10 OTKP First at SMK Negeri 3 Gunung Sitoli in 2022-2023. The research focus on identifying and analyzing the teacher role as a facilitators in the English learning process at SMK Negeri 3 Gunung Sitoli, and identifying and analyzing the factors in the teacher's role as a facilitator in the process of learning English at SMK Negeri 3 Gunung Sitoli. Based on the focus of the research questions are formulated as follows. How is the teacher's role as a facilitators in the English learning process at SMK Negeri 3 Gunung Sitoli in 2022-2023? And what are the factors hinder the teacher's role as a facilitators in processing of learning English at SMK Negeri 3 Gunung Sitoli in 2022-2023? The objective of this research is to know the role of English teacher as facilitators in the process of learning English at SMK Negeri 3 Gunung Sitoli, and to explain the factor that hinder the role of English teacher as facilitators in the process of learning English. While the significance of this research is, the first is theoretically. Theoretically, the students extend the role of English teacher as facilitators and in carrying out educational innovation. While practical benefit, the first is for the teacher. This research can be used as a guide to carry out the teacher's role as a better facilitators in learning English. And for researcher, this research can be used as an experience directly when seeing the learning process in the field. And for other researcher, this research can be used as a material references, comparison, and guidelines to add knowledge and insight of researchers who will carry out similar research. Chapter 2 Literature Review. The first is definition of teacher. The teacher in Japanese refers to someone who must be emulated by all students and even society. Must be imitated meaning that everything conveyed by him is always believed and to be true by all students. The second is teacher responsibilities. According to Daud Joseph, former Indonesian Minister of Education, there are three missions or functions of teacher, namely professional function, humanitarian function, and civic function or civilization. The third is teacher's role. According to Eton Institute 2023, there are 7 roles of teacher in the 21st century. The first is the controller. The second is the prompter. The third is the research. And the fourth is the assessor. The fifth is the organizer. The sixth is the participant. And the last or seventh is the tutor. The fourth is the teacher's role as a facilitators. The teacher as a facilitators mean that the teacher facilitating in the learning process. And the fifth is inhibiting factor, the role of the teacher as the facilitators. The first is the lack of experience factor. The second is the factor is the teacher's lack of insight into the theory of the teacher as the facilitators. The third is the factor of the lack of school facilities. The fourth is the factor of the teacher's old habit in teaching is so strong. The sixth is English subject for 10 OTKP or vocational high school. English is the official language and international language. The seventh is syllabus. Syllabus is a plan of tools and arrangement for the implementation of learning and assessment, which is arranged systematically and contains interrelated components to the active master of basic competence. The next is conceptual framework. The conceptual framework aims as a direction in conducting research. Chapter 3 Research Method. The first is approach and type of the research. In this research, the researcher follow the methodology of descriptive qualitative research. In addition, the instrument that we'll use in this research in interview. The second variable of the research. According to Sutama 2016.47, the research variable is a noun concept that means variation within a class of subject. As an independent variable in this research is the role of English teacher, and dependent variable in this research is the facilitator for 10 OTKP first at SMK Negeri 3 Gunung Sitoli. The third is setting and schedule of the research. The fourth is source of data. The data source are the interview guidelines with the English teacher and students in 10 OTKP first at SMK Negeri 3 Gunung Sitoli. The fifth is instrument of the research. The researcher use and interviews as the instrument of the research. The sixth is data collecting technique. The researcher will conduct structured interview with an English teacher and also students to gain information on factor related to the role of English teacher as facilitators and factor hinder the teacher's role as a facilitators, especially at 10 OTKP first of SMK Negeri 3 Gunung Sitoli. And the last is data analysis technique. According to Gay et al., say that one way to process with analysis is to follow 3 interactive or repeating steps: reading or memoing, describing what is going on in the setting, and the third is classifying research data. And finally, the honorable examiners. I have presented all the content of my final assignment from chapter 1 until chapter 3. That's all my presentation. Thank you for your nice attention. And well, I'm ready to answer the question, and I hope I can answer it, the question from the examiners, as well as I can. Thank you.